Fun game, actually. Both teams having chances in the end. Barcelona then booking their place in the quarter-final draw. Overall, Craig, Barca deserved it, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think they were the better side in Naples. Obviously, Napoli, they literally just changed the manager. So he's had some time and there's been an improvement in them since then. With Barcelona, it's always about, this season anyway, it's about their defence. You know, and Napoli did, even after they went 3-1 up, Barca, they clipped the post at least once, and you saw that Lindstrom header. There were other chances. But over the two games, I think it's probably some of the best football we've seen Barca play offensively this season. And we watch them every week covering La Liga. They've been pretty poor. Yeah. They've been pretty pedestrian. Their football's been slow. And, you know, they've struggled to break teams down. This was a more open game, and I think that helped them a little bit. Now, defensively, I think ultimately in this competition, somebody's going to take them apart. But over the two legs, I think their football stepped up, and I think they just deserved to go through. But Napoli on the night did give them a headache.
What we saw today from Barcelona, which we haven't always seen this season offensively, is variety in the attack. In the first goal, the position that Rafinha takes, as Cancelo goes out wide, Rafinha, instead of going wide himself, no, he takes the inside channel, which then forces the defender. As Cancelo gets the ball, the defender gets out there. Now Rafinha runs behind the defender. He then cuts the ball back, and Lewandowski, who is the one that appears usually in the 18-yard box, understands that there's a player behind him in a better position. So I'm just going to let it go. You go ahead, Fermin Lopez, a second-line attacker, finishing the chance. Doesn't always happen from Barcelona. Why do I say variety? Because the second goal comes from a counter-attack. Yes, a counter-attack from Barcelona with speed. Here we go. We got an opportunity. Change of pace from Lamine Yamal. Let's get forward. Let's find the chance. 1v1 situation from Rafinha. He takes the defender on, hits it off the post, and Cancelo, who's not interested in defending whatsoever, the effort that he puts forth in order to get on the end of the rebound does not compare to the effort that he doesn't put defensively. However, regardless, he knows that there's going to be an opportunity, reads it, jumps on it, scores a goal. That variety of attack, 1v1 situations from Lamine Yamal all night long, who had Mario Rui running all over the place. Fermin Lopez running in behind from the midfield line. He had a chance as well when he gets in behind. That variety of attack hasn't always been present for Barcelona this year, certainly.
How will Napoli take this, Gab?
Look, I think they've been through so much. I mean, this is Chicho Calzone is their fourth manager in, the last 9 months? I mean, it's pretty crazy when you think we're this team where, in fact, I've got a column coming out on, you know, how to destroy a successful club by A. De Laurentiis, the Napoli president. On the night, I feel like they did what they could. They're up against a more talented team, albeit one that, you know, that had some big pieces missing in Pedri, Gavi, and De Jong, and I think they're going to rue that. They're going to rue the missed Lindstrom header. They're going to complain about there was Kubarsi, who I thought was phenomenal, maybe except for the one moment that let him down on Osimhen. Different referee, different situation. You know, that could have been a penalty. But, you know, I think they're going to just accept the fact that, hey, we lost to a team that's better than us, that are higher up in the table in their own league than we are. And it's there for a reason. And they're not coming from, you know, the 6 months of chaos and cluster mess, which has been Napoli's season so far.
But you think when you're playing teenagers at centre-half and you're playing Christensen in midfield and you have all these vulnerabilities, Barca that is, you just feel that although Napoli are having a pretty dreadful season by the standards, obviously, of last year, you just felt that there was more to come. And you saw what they were trying to do early, particularly in the first half. It was try and spin Osimhen in behind to upset that high Barcelona line, and he got in time and time again. Unfortunately, he'd either timed his run wrongly, or the ball was just delivered too late from Menguisa or whoever it was, which I think happened in one time on the right. But had they done that, had they got that right, it might have been a different story. And it was there because Barca was squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and he was playing on the shoulder all the time. They just couldn't get it right. They couldn't get it right, and those were the small details that let Barcelona off the hook, and they paid the ultimate price for it. But I don't think Barca will go, we're going to wait in the draw, see what happens tomorrow. When the draw comes out, they're in the quarterfinals. Maybe there's going to be some huge uptick in their season. But I just feel, even looking at the chances that a struggling Napoli created against them, and we've seen it all season, whether it be Was it Villarreal scored 5?
Yes.
There's been a bundle of teams have gone there to the Montjuic and either scored goals or created bundles of chances. So, unless things change, when they pull one of the big boys, it's going to be curtains for them.
But what's interesting is you've got 2 managers now in the quarterfinals who are leaving because they've been rubbish, basically, this season. So let me put this to you.
Oh, yeah, and Tuchel.
Yes.
Yeah?
Right, right.
Bayern Barca? What if we have that?
Who leads first?
Who's through in the quarterfinal of those 2 faces?
You can make a very strong argument against both teams.
Yeah.
Not necessarily
both defensively,
yes,
isn't it?
not for both teams, but against both teams. Look, you talk about the disappointment for Napoli today. Look at the midfield that you were playing against. It's Christensen, Gundogan, Fermin Lopez.
Yeah.
Christensen is not a central midfielder. He's just doing a job. Gundogan has to cover defensively, and so that gives all the responsibility offensive to Fermin Lopez to join in the attack, which he did. He scores a goal, does well. But if you're that midfield 3 for Napoli, you're saying, come on. This is I wouldn't say a layup, but this is certainly an opportunity. But then you look at the midfield of Napoli and you go, Lobotka, Anguissa, and Traore. Well, there isn't a whole lot of creativity there. That's not the case when you play against better teams. But in the case of Bayern Munich, you can also say that their midfield is nonsense. You know who says their midfield is nonsense? Thomas Tuchel says their midfield is worthless. Well, so there you go. That's why you can make arguments against both. I don't know that you can make an argument for either one of them, because you can say, well, they have a young, exciting player, Lamine Yamal, Yamal Musiala. Yeah. They have a goal scorer, Harry Kane, Robert Lewandowski. Defensively, they're shockingly bad at times. Yes, both of them are. And through the midfield, they have struggles, and a coach who's on the way out. So there's a lot of similarities here. I don't know that you can actually say, yeah, Barcelona have a really good chance, or Bayern Munich have a really good chance. They have a really good chance of blowing it, both of them do.
Actually, I want to see that game now. It's sort of perverse. It's sort of perverse. Who's going to get sacked first? Football sort of
PSG
balance.
are going to play Real Madrid because of Mbappe.
Yeah.
That's in.
What, and he's going to mail it in because he doesn't want to. Because he's already upset Florentino Perez a couple of years ago by giving him a custard pie. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say.
Be part of your dream draw, Gab. Your trademark dream draw.
Oh, without question, I want to see Barcelona against Bayern. And by the way, to go back to Ali's point about the lack of creativity in Napoli and their kind of self-destruction, Napoli's most creative midfielder is, for me, Piotr Zielinski, and who was a big part of their season last year. Well, guess what? He wasn't in play in this game because he's not eligible, because he didn't put him on the squad list in January. And the reason he put him on the squad list is because he didn't extend his contract. So when you talk about clubs making stupid decisions,